ago, I said that I was going to follow up the last video with one of Glenn Greenwald's articles, but you know what? I've changed my mind because this new video that just came out, the Osama bin Laden video, it's just too good to pass up because it is so obviously a total fake that. It's just incredible how gullible people are to this sort of stuff. Um, well, I did a little bit of investigative work of my own here, and I'd like to share it with you. And it's not just the whole video is not just fake in terms of what you see on the video, namely that bin Laden now obviously has colored his beard or wears a fake beard or has colored his hair or has somehow discovered a Grecian formula in on the border of Pakistan or wherever he may be. As I said yesterday, it's very convenient to put these videos out just as major reports in Congress are about to be delivered by the generals and everybody else. So, a little bit of background. Yesterday in the Washington Post regarding this video, regarding the bin Laden tape. They're saying that the video was obtained early yesterday by U.S. intelligence officials and was first made public on the web, on the website of SITE, S-I-T-E, Institute Incorporated in Washington, D.C. The circumstances of its release were unusual. No copy of the video had appeared on any Islamic website as of yesterday, and as has been the norm for recent or prior Al-Qaeda videos. A spokesman for SITE, S-I-T-E, Institute, declined to comment on how it obtained the most recent video. This is the Washington Post article here. Now, if you go to this website, SITE, the video is nowhere to be found on that website as of this hour. This is 2 hours ago. It's not there. But from their own website, again, this is a little bit confusing because the site is called SITE, right? The co-founders of this website are essentially two people, one named Rita Katz and the other person named Josh Devon. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this correctly. In any case, this is information from their own website, and I have the feeling this is going to be a long video, so this may be a two-parter here, so you'll have to excuse the length. But I hope it'll be of interest to some people. Anyway, as described on their own website, Rita Katz, director and co-founder of the SITE Institute, has studied, tracked, and analyzed international terrorists and their financial operations for several years. Since well before September 11th, she has personally briefed government officials, including former terrorism czar Richard Clarke and his staff in the White House, as well as investigators in the Department of Justice, Department of Treasury, and the Department of Homeland Security on the financing and recruitment networks of the terrorist movement. Many of her leads have prompted the government to investigate and take legal action against individuals and organizations suspected of ties to terrorism. Now, this is from their own website, as I said. Before founding SITE Institute in 2002, Ms. Katz served as research director of the investigative project in Washington, D.C., She was born in Iraq and is a graduate of the Middle Eastern Studies program in Tel Aviv. And she speaks both Arabic and Hebrew with native fluency. Mrs. Katz, or Ms. Katz, is the author of Terrorist Hunter, the extraordinary story of a woman who went undercover to infiltrate radical Islamic groups operating in America. HarperCollins, 2003. Her commentary on terrorism issues frequently appears in prominent media outlets, including the New York Times, the Washington Post, as today, 60 Minutes, and the Wall Street Journal. Now to the other co-founder, Josh Devon, senior analyst and co-founder of the Site Institute, focuses on the research and analysis of global terrorist networks. He has consulted on terrorism-related investigations for several government agencies, including the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Justice, and the FBI. You know, it goes on and on. It lists his degrees, his credentials, graduate, BA in English and BS in economics from the Wharton School of University in Pennsylvania, and so on. So there was an article basically that was researching this very institute several years back. It was printed in the New Yorker. The magazine called The New Yorker, and it came out in 2006. The author of that article is Benjamin Wallace Wells, and what follows here are excerpts from this article about this particular Site Institute. It's very interesting. So basically, he gives you a little background on Rita Katz, the co-founder of this institute. And basically he says, Katz, who was born in Iraq and speaks fluent Arabic and Hebrew, spends hours each day monitoring the password-protective online chat rooms in which Islamic terrorists discuss politics and trade tips, how to disperse a botulism toxin or transfer funds, which suicide vests work best, and so on. Traditionally, intelligence has been filtered through government agencies, such as the CIA or the NSA, which gather raw data and analyze it. And the government decides then who sees these products of their work and when. Katz, who is the head of an organization called Search for International Terrorism Entities, the acronym is SITE, has made it her business to upset that monopoly. She and her researchers mine online sources for intelligence, and her staff translates and sends out by email a list of articles to about 100 subscribers. Now, these subscribers include news organizations which pay for the subscription. Lots of dollars, I might want to mention. Clients include people in the government who are presumably frustrated by how long it takes to get information through official channels. It also includes people in the corporate security sector and in the media who rarely get much useful material from the CIA. She has worked with prosecutors on more than a dozen terrorism investigations, and many American officers in Iraq rely on Katz's emails to, for example, brief their troops on the designs for explosives that are passed around terrorist websites. Robert Worth, a Times reporter who used Katz's service during the 18 months he spent in Iraq, told me, this means he told the reporter of the New Yorker, Rita really knows what she's talking about, who's responsible for the attacks, and what a legitimate terrorist organization is and what is not. Because many reporters rebroadcast her information, it can reach the public before people in the government have had a chance to evaluate her organization's work, cited in the Times and in the Washington Post about twice a month. Okay, I think I'm going to quit here and make a part 2 to this because this is going to be a little longer than I thought. So part 2 follows. Keep in touch.